Even if it just ends up with them giving us something.
You're a structural engineer.
You also.
Yeah. And what about chemical engineers?
For me, we do a lot of design processes, that kind of thing, in Chem Eng, but there's also sort of a separate category for mining engineering that we don't actually cover. So all the processes involved there that we don't really cover, sort of found really interesting. Yeah, something new.
And they're using this here and big braces that we kind of design 1/10 the size of, but at the same time the processes and everything that's going on there are really interesting as well. In there's nothing that's breakthrough, there's no proton accelerator or anything, it's things going down a slippery dip, and because of the properties, the mass, they separate, and that's engineering, like they're using nous and fundamentals.
Simple, very rudimentary principles. Don't forget, I was just blown away by the magnitude of things. A 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation.
Yeah, just keeps going.
Yeah, it's very interesting aspect, definitely so.
What's the ultimate purpose in terms of?
They're building an art studio out at Fowler's Gap on the UNSW land out there, and they just kind of look at sustainable solutions and new ways of looking at things, and their whole idea is this recognising the land, less of what can it do for us and more of how can we change our perception of it. The studio they want to build up there is kind of on this rocky outcrop in the middle of nowhere, and they just want to build something that's attracts less heat, doesn't get too hot. So we're designing these wall frames that hold water for them. We're just kind of looking at stuff we could build it out of, and along the way dropping in at places like this.
Resources there. Incorporate that recycling aspect into the design.
And it's good because we kind of see the initiatives that you guys, so that there is obviously a I don't know if you call it a market, but a mindset that you can't just keep using fresh water and fresh water. It's good to see that there's that kind of thing going on.
Yeah, that's right. It's something we're fairly conscious of too, especially with the mine, because we're actually operating in the water table. We've been quite happy so far with our results, and that we're not lowering the water table or anything. It's sort of going back into it. Sort of it had an initial drop, it's effectively just sort of balancing out quite evenly, and so we're quite happy with that so far. Because we are conscious of water, obviously in Australia, and it's a big issue.
Yeah. We're part of an advanced engineering course at Sydney University. We've been given a project this year to look at a University of New South Wales initiative through ILIRI, Imaging the Land International Research Institute, and we're looking at their project to build an artist studio out at Fowler's Gap, which will have water retaining walls, essentially.
Christopher, you're the chemical side of this team, of this equation. What's the project about? Chris just touched on it there about the water aspect of it. Tell us about the project.
Just in terms of the water retaining walls, one of the main reasons that we're investigating this project is due to the fact that there's a very severe climate out in Broken Hill. It gets very hot, it gets very cold, and just on first glance we've seen a lot of air conditioners on the roofs and that kind of thing. And especially we've looked at some past studios in Fowler's Gap, and the installation's really limited. So we're hoping that bringing in some warm water retaining walls will reduce energy consumption required by air conditioners and that kind of thing, and therefore just looking at construction in a sustainable manner in the future.
What is a water retaining wall, Ben?
Essentially what we're proposing in our feasibility study is a very rudimentary steel frame which will have a gap, a cavity in which a bladder will store water, which will be collected from runoff from gutters or etc. So what that embodies as us as the structural engineers, Chris and I, is that we have to come up with some kind of design for a steel frame for the creative laboratory is what the facility is going to be called in Fowler's Gap. So one of the really interesting aspects of this project is that we've been looking at it from a recyclable material point of view. So we've been thinking we can incorporate maybe local mining companies or scrap metal into the structure to reuse existing materials. Since the general flavour of this project is creativity, an artist studio, and it's an interdisciplinary project involving many aspects of the academic community being artists, engineers and architects, so we thought, why not, if we're going to sustainability approach, can't we incorporate reused materials, recycled metal? So we think we can somehow try and engage, being the industry in Broken Hill, being the mining industries, whether they have scrap steel sections and stuff we can use for this construction, because a lot of the materials that we think we can come across in these kinds of settings could be utilised quite efficiently.
Chris, why are you excited by the project?
This goes beyond the bounds of anything we've ever looked at.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice.
Is there words to it?
There is.
We're working with artists, which are pretty much generally the foe to the engineer at uni. So it's good to be working with them and see their points of view and see their needs. And so we're going to cater to them, and at the same time we're looking at the community needs, and it's good to sort of create something that people are interested in and excited about, and create almost a hype about it so that people would jump on board and embrace the idea and create relations between University of Sydney, University of New South Wales, Art Exchange at Broken Hill, and just the people. So it's exciting to be involved with a big team that just keeps growing.
Ben, Chris mentioned that you've been working with artists, and that's one of the great things about the project, and this is interdisciplinary project. What's it been like working with them?
Oh, it's been different. We look at things, of course, from very, very different perspectives, and it's been actually quite interesting. Initially, we were sceptical. We were a bit subdued. Waiting to see what was going to happen, working with artists, being from the background we come from. But we've found the experience to be fantastic. It's been a great way to come together with people who you would not normally come into contact with, and to work collectively on a project for the greater good, and not just for our own degrees, but for their own. For Broken Hill Art Exchange, it's a great big notch on the belt, and also within the community, you can really do something. It's fantastic for us to really break the mould, leave Sydney and leave the typical engineering degree, and to work on something so diverse and so revolutionary in a way that we just feel it's a great opportunity for our personal development, but also for other people to really take a lot away from. Us three, I think, would love to come back maybe in 7 years' time and come to an opening of a building at Fowler's Gap. That'd be fantastic in the long run. It's something which it could possibly happen, and if we're one milestone in that, it'd be fantastic.
We have to remember to put forward drivers. So.
Be nice. It's a long way out, isn't it? So it's very much in its early stages, but I suppose we can look forward to a new set of students coming out here this time next year to take what you've done to the next stage.
Absolutely. Hopefully the collaboration with the community and the universities back in town goes for a few more years and comes with some tangible results.